When you're building an MVP, while speed can work for you, it can also work against you, which is why you have to learn how to build fast and slow. What's up guys, and welcome to another video about minimum viable products. In this video, I'll be talking about what I call building fast and slow. It relates to how you should be building your MVP and what you should be doing to make sure that you don't fall into these traps that I'll be talking about. So be sure to stay until the end of this video. So what kind of traps am I talking about? Well, there are really two main traps that you can fall into when you're building an MVP. The first trap, which I think is very important to avoid, is building the wrong thing. And when you're building the wrong thing, you can still feel productive. You can feel like you're making progress. You can feel like you're delivering all these features to your users, but not getting traction. And while that can make you feel like you're doing work, that you're busy all the time, in reality, what really matters is user feedback. And if you're not getting the feedback that you want, you have essentially wasted your developer resources. So that's the first trap, building the wrong thing for your users. The second trap is not listening to your users and instead listening to yourself. If you think that you know what is right for your users at all times, then you will most likely build the wrong thing, which is the first trap. So see how they're interrelated? If you believe that you are the only person who knows what is best for your users, you will end up building something that nobody wants because you'll be too oblivious to user feedback. So these are the two traps that you want to avoid when you're building an MVP. And how can building fast and slow apply to avoiding these traps? Well, you have to understand when to apply speed and when to apply patience. Speed is important when you're iterating, when you're receiving user feedback that shows that the product that you have created is not the right thing. When you're confronted with that situation, the most important thing to do, and something you should do as quickly as possible, is to change course, to go back to the drawing board and reevaluate your value proposition, your hypotheses about what your users value. And this can be seen in user feedback, and you have to be as quick as possible in evaluating user feedback and making that decision. However, you must also be slow and give time to the features that you have built. Don't fall into this trap of building as many things as possible, as quickly as possible. Instead, decide on what you want to build, time box those features, set a timeline, set a time at which you will then decide if the features you have built are correct for your users, and then just be patient. Don't fiddle with the process. Don't harass your developers and try to make them build as much as possible during that time period. Instead, stay put and keep monitoring user feedback, even if there is no major spike in usage or major spike in positive user feedback. You won't get these spikes. It's a very incremental process, but eventually you will get an understanding of whether you are in the right direction or not. You just have to be slow. You have to be patient. You have to slowly monitor your metrics and not try to speed up the process by fiddling with the process. So that's really the building fast and slow philosophy in action. And it's a philosophy that I try to apply to my own products. So the product I'm building right now with my two developers, with our product, we've created an MVP. We've created the first iteration of our product. We're now going to have to release our product out in the wild and see if our users resonate with this first iteration. And this is where we have to be patient. We shouldn't be building features at this time because most likely the features we build won't be useful. We want to instead pay attention to the feedback that we get to this first iteration and build on top of that instead of trying to test as many things as possible, because you can waste resources in this process. Because let's say you build something now, but then the user feedback that you get 2 weeks later shows that what you've built actually is useless. You've just wasted 2 weeks of developer resources. Developers are humans as well. Understand that they're human. You don't want to wear them out. You just have to be patient sometimes. So that's the building fast and slow philosophy in action, and it helps you avoid these two traps that I mentioned at the start of this video. The first trap being building the wrong thing, and the second trap being building too much too quickly and just completely being oblivious to user feedback. So that's it for this video, and I will see you in the next one.